Hello guys and welcome to another video. It's been a while and I'm most likely going to save the updates for a separate video, but I've always been playing Epic 7. I never quit. I just kind of quit doing YouTube videos, so that's all the update there is to do. I built a bunch of new units, and as you've seen by the thumbnail, the Blingo boy, myself, I finally built Ludwig. I know a lot of you might be asking, why only now? Being the Blingo guy, a lot of people build Blingo for Ludwig, and I always avoided it because that always put Blingo in a supportive role. But then I thought, right now, RTA, there's a lot of stuff that is pretty hard to deal with, so I need to make my account as strong as possible. So I just thought, hey, I gotta go for the Ludwig. I feel like he's a boy, he's a Shota boy. I'm familiar with those. I have Leo and stuff. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. So let's look over what Ludwig does and see why it's synergetic with Blingo. So on his S1, he 75% chance to steal one buff, and he gives himself 15% crit chance. With his S2, it does like a single target nuke that has a 50% chance to stun and grants himself invincible. And on S3, he basically penetrates 50% defense when he's granted invincible, and this is why his S2 gives him invincibility. And that's basically it. He just does a bunch of damage. His soul burn is also increased damage, so he's basically this AoE nuker that requires invincible to nuke really hard. And what does Blingo do? Blingo gives attack buff and invincible on S3, which makes him really good. And Ludwig also is good for Blingo because he can carry Tegahul for Blingo soul burn, and that makes it really easy to use. So, couple things we need to know about this build. I'm happy with it. This is most likely going to be his final build. I want to speed him up a little bit, and I want to get some of his attack a little bit higher, because as you can see, a lot of these pieces have some flat attack, especially this one, and mostly because this counter gear was a counter gear I made for Blingo, but turns out it works just fine on this guy. He's missing crit chance because he imprints into crit chance, so once I get him to SSS, this build will have 100% crit chance. So for now, I'll just run him with the RNG. He's doing amazing for me in RTA, so I kind of want to showcase it for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Another small update to Blingo. Over time, I've always been improving his gear, so now it looks a little bit more cracked than he used to look, and he was already cracked. And now I'm using him on Symbol of Unity, not only because evasion meta is kind of there with Violet, and because the double idle shear tech that I used to use with DJ Basar no longer works very well, since now I've been running Carrick in other higher attack units, so DJ Basar is no longer the higher attack unit. So because I kind of started going away from that strategy, I just put this guy on Symbol of Unity, which is really, really crazy for his damage, and you guys are going to be super impressed, and hopefully you guys have fun. So we're going to jump into RTA, and we're going to showcase how we draft and how we use this thing. We're currently in Champion RTA. As you've seen, I've been playing a little bit of RTA. I only started recently, so I can say I've been playing a lot of RTA because I started pretty late into the season, but we're pretty much in mid-champion, like 2,300 points is a pretty decent spot to be, and I've been using, as you can see by the background, Ludwig a lot. And I've been using it with Closer Charles, but we can talk about all these other characters I've been using later, and you guys can ask me in the comments, and I'll keep you in the loop, or you can join the Discord, and I have a unit stats there that I've been updating my character, so if you want to see whatever I've been building recently, you can see it there as well. Okay, here we have our first opponent for today. You guys know I always like to commentate while I do things. So current season for me has been really tough because I've always pre-banned Cerise, and it really helps me not get cleaved. I really want to avoid people cleaving me because my speed contested gear isn't the best. So I want to avoid Angelica right now, and I want to draft in a way where the enemy doesn't feel compelled to go cleave against me. So I go with Closer Charles because Closer Charles for me is a neutral pick. I built mine Bruiser DPS with very decent speed. So right now he's a CR pusher within the same range as my DJ Basar. And because we can go both ways with Closer Charles, we're gonna have to deal with it. Alright, so this is already very, very bad for us because ACID into an RB just means this man wants to cleave really, really hard. So what do? We think about if we want to take this comp or not. Thinking about it, I would most likely go for a Bruiser build here, or a Bruiser pick, because this guy is going to 100% cleave me. But because it's showcase purpose, I'm most likely going to take the challenge and go with a Carrick and Ludwig. picks, but if he goes for another speed unit, it's basically GG, and I'm just gonna move on to the next fight. Okay, this man is going full cleave, so for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna click here. I don't think I can actually quit. Never mind. I can't quit while I'm recording because it's still the top right thing. Either way, I'm gonna pause the recording and I'm gonna go into the next match. Here we go. This draft looks a little bit better. Elena isn't that good against what we take, but honestly, I think we should be okay. This person was pretty smart into banning Jibasar because he knows I'll never be able to ban the Elena. So we're gonna have to deal with some RNG here. Alright, what can we do here? Let's see, CR pushing. Okay, so if I push 20%, she pushes 20%. My Carrick still takes a turn, but at least I'll have attack buff, so let's do that. Most people nowadays don't run Magaras on Elena because it's no longer like the most, broken thing. Right, so we didn't get cut. So there's a way that we 50-50 here, right? Into something advantageous for us. So we have to go for it. We have to go for the 50-50 on this Elena, because I don't think there's much else we can do here. So let's try to go for the 50-50 here. We landed, but she resisted, and that's not really good. We can still get protected here, even though we don't have immunity. We can still try to deal with it. Right. So let's try to go in a protective side here. Okay, this is good that he takes a turn, so now we just have to RNG him. Right. Okay, now I have to RNG him here and hit the 50-50 and then extend my invincible. Didn't quite happen. And now we're going to get provoked, and I think this is over right then, so we're going to skip to the next fight until we find something where it's a bit more regular. Right now, Billion just came out today. She's going to be spammed everywhere because people just, put whatever gear on her. And yeah, this is just a very unfavorable draft that we cannot win. So let's move on to the next fight. I mean, I just realized despite everything, I'm blinded, but I have Symbol of Unity, so I have a pretty decent chance of landing things. Just not very lucky. Just not very lucky. So let's play this one out. Okay. Ludwig is countering, but I did get a defense buff here, so if I counter again, it could be advantageous. Okay. I lost all my attack buff and everything, though. Okay, it's over. She keeps getting the 35%. Yeah, I don't think I can recover from this. I would have to crit everything, and then the shield will have to be enough. And I think this 50-50 here is going to be pretty bad. Yeah, the shield is very thick, which is good. But I don't think the outcome here changes at all. So let's just let him hit me, kill me, and then be done with it. There it is. All right, moving on to the next fight. Here we go, finally. This one I'm sure I won't have to stop. This is the type of draft we want to see. Very meta, very bruiser, very safe. A lot of people draft like this. And this is very good for me. There's only two ifs in this type of comp. Is I bend the Ram, I don't have to deal with her RNG, but the Amelia could be above the 250 speed bracket, and if it is, I lose instantly. So I rather deal with the RNG from Rem than to deal with the rest. Honestly, this guy gave me a pretty good time. He gave me my double souls, my DJ Basar, and my Blingo. So honestly, I think this is going to be one of those where it's going to be pretty hard to lose this one. I know I sound very confident, but I think this one is one of those drafts where the enemy didn't quite understand what I'm bringing here. So I guess he's not really adjusting very well. So let's see it. Right. The first order of business against this type of team is always to reset the FSSI because Blingo and Ludwig, they take setup. They might not do everything this turn, so I really have to go and burn on this girl. So I burn, it's guaranteed. And the cool thing is, because I have 4 units cycling through, even if I burn with Blingo here, I still get 1 soul for the soul burn on the Ludwig. So I can legit burn on 2 of my units. Well, actually, I burn 2 and then get the 3rd. So let's see the Blingo damage here with Symbol of Unity. It really did improve over the time. Unfortunately, this is pretty bad if they strip like too many buffs from me. But otherwise, very fine. All right, here we go. Now it's Ludwig time. Ludwig can do whatever he wants because he either goes S2 here or he goes S3. If he gets S2, he extends invincible. If he goes S3, he gets a massive shield. And because my Ludwig is 1,300 defense, that HP is basically gonna, scale really well to him because mages have high defense anyway. So as you can see, look, this RB barely broke the boy. And then on our second turn with Ludwig, we always go with this. Actually, I have to say, it was pretty lucky that we stunned there. That was the 85% chance proccing in, but either way, Ludwig is very, very safe. You get to make options like, do I want to single target nuke anyone and extend my invincibility, or do you want to go full AoE? And when he counters, he always has that chance of stealing a buff, and he does damage because his DPS stats are pretty good. So let's move on to the next fight. All right, here we go. Next opponent, and the draft seems to be going in a favorable way for us. This season has been pretty hard because I have to avoid Angelica, which is a permaban for me, so I'm never really going to have to deal with her. But I'll have to deal with Cerise, with Pavel Cleaves, with all of those. In the beginning of the climb for this season for me, I started first picking my Pavel because I can draft him into this team with very little problems, and it was working pretty good. But I always had a little bit of a problem with my souls because I didn't have two mages to draft into that, and I couldn't take Charles. I would have to take Gerardo instead, and honestly, Gerardo doesn't do too much for my team. So when we draft against people, we always struggle if they do two speed contests. When it's one, we insta ban it, and we still have to deal with the Rem RNG, but honestly, I think Rem RNG is going to be fine on this one, so we're going to be okay. Because Carrick was banned, I have to blow everything I have on the first turn, because if I don't, the F-Sessi is just gonna put skill null and my Ludwig won't do anything from there on. And yes, I say Ludwig, not Ludwig, because he's a Ludi boy. He's a Shota boy, you know what I mean? Alright, this should be pretty well set up. It's a fast RB, so we shouldn't struggle too much with it. Hopefully the Rem doesn't go too crazy because we do have a couple setup AoEs here that could kind of screw us up. This one doesn't screw us up too much, but when I use Blingo, I do want Blingo to keep his invincible and the Ludwig to keep the invincible as well. So I don't mind this one. This one is fine. I'm okay with it. Actually, I'm more than okay with it because they countered, it pushed idle shears onto my Ludwig. This is actually a very good thing as well because I have attack buff right now and I can just go on the Rem right here. See, it almost one-shots the Ram and he has a chance to stun, which means I can burn now, give attack buff to someone else, right? But I'm still going to give it to the Ludwig because the Ludwig doesn't have it for next turn. So I'm just going to heal him up because Ludwig is still going to have, his load. Now, F-Sessi still is a problem, but because I have Symbol of Unity, I just have to click on this Violet. The first one didn't work. Let's see about the second. And then the second worked. So that's going to be okay. Charles is going to be able to remove any skill nullifiers that goes up very soon here. My Charles is around 16k HP with evasion and Shepherd of Chaos. So when he gets low HP, he gets to 90% evasion. I'll do a video to explain his build, but I'm pretty happy about it. The lower he gets, the more evasion he gets, and the more defense he gets. He basically becomes really annoying when he gets lower HP. And he's still a CR pusher. Alright, so he's going to kill my Digibassar here, most likely. And then I'm going to remove the skill nullifier, most likely on the RB, because Blingo can deal with the Violet. And Blingo is still protected for one turn with immunity. So I'm most likely just going to nuke the Violet here. I mean, not nuke, I can't English. Not nuke the Violet, nuke the RB. Right, we're going to hit here. As long as we get a crit, we get a huge shield, and because we have high defense, that shield really lasts. There is 22k on that RB. We remove skill nulls. Again, whatever happens here, symbol onto a Violet is a pretty average, it's a pretty nice chance to hit. Let's see it. Then hit this time, and he counters. But I still think it's fine. We just have to keep pushing that luck. Giving him one more stack is okay. And we ended up not giving him the stack. And as you can see, the 16,000 HP Charles still hits pretty hard. It's a very exciting build. I love it a lot. And yeah, that's basically it. The showcases here was mostly 2 matches. The other 2, I just have a lot of drafting issues this season. If people draft ACID and F10A or something like that, I either have to deal with one or the other, and I normally lose because I'm banking on people thinking that I'm going to cleave, and and I'm banking on them responding with anti-cleave options instead of outspeeding options. So that's basically it. That's what I've been doing this season. It's been working out to a certain extent. My win rate is like 52%. It's not great. I got the champion really fast this season, in under like 59 matches or something. But then when I reached champion, people just started cleaving a lot, and I was trying to still figure out what draft I was going for. And yeah, but now I'm pretty confident this is my draft for this season. It works in a lot of times, in a lot of places, and the win rate's pretty fair. If I go into my battle log here, we lost these 2 or 3 because that's when I was trying to find the draft. But before that, we won all of them. So it's a pretty fair draft to do this season. And that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And now let's have a little bit for updates. So updates. I didn't want to let myself spend more time not doing videos. It's been way too long that I haven't done videos. So that's basically it. I'm back to doing videos. They're gonna be very simple, only on the phone, so not edited, only cut by the actual like pause system of my recording software. So it's going to be very old school. My computer is still good. The thing is, the whole GPU crisis started when I was building my computer. So my computer is all new parts, but my GPU was my old GPU, my 970. And the 970, over the usage of playing Apex and Warzone and other games like that, it burned up like 2 months ago or something like that. So I don't have a GPU on my PC right now, and I'm waiting for the prices to go down so I can get a GPU and I can start doing stuff on my computer again. But for now, I couldn't allow myself to not make any more videos for any more time. My account's been progressing very, very well. I'm as strong as I've ever been, and actually for GVG and stuff like that, much stronger. I have a lot of options. I built so many characters to respond to so many things. That it's really, really exciting. So I hope you guys are excited for the next videos that are coming. One day I'll do, an update video. If you guys want to see what the units I built, just drop on Discord and you'll see them there. And that's it. Be expecting next video with a new character, with a new build, something you've never seen before. And that's what hopefully I'll keep providing you guys with stuff you've never seen before. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.